In our last video, we talked about waste and the acronym Tim Wood for the 7 forms of waste. There's videos out on that, not going to go into detail on that. Attacking waste really falls into 2 categories. It's efficient execution of maintenance and it's a problem solving. You need both components inside of your reliability program. And you attack both of them simultaneously based on where the waste is in your plant. One of the things that I found is most of the financial gain in most of the from production from lower cost comes from the problem solving piece. But the problem is the same people that solve the problems for you are the same ones that respond to emergency work, the same ones that get involved in the efficient execution of maintenance. So you really have to attack both of these together. I'm going to talk about one form of waste, and that is waiting. And I'm going to do that through an example. You have a 7 to 3 maintenance shift. 7 o'clock, people are getting a toolbox talk. They come out of that toolbox talk. 3 people, or craftsmen, are assigned to install the pump. They go out. The pump is supposed to be located on rack J, and it's not there. They look around, mill around, look around, go get a coffee. They look around for it. They call the supervisor. The supervisor says that Joe reorganized everything. You may want to track him down and see where it's at. So one of the craftsmen goes and finds Joe with what he's doing, stopping what he's doing, finds out that he moved the pump outside. Okay, so they go get it outside. They see it. Oh, and by the way, they don't have a fork truck. There was supposed to be a fork truck available. Somebody took the fork truck. So they got to track down the fork truck. All of this takes 90 minutes. Real example, folks, real example. So finally, after first break, these guys come back and they go about taking the one pump out, putting the new pump in, but then they don't have a new coupling. The coupling's damaged, don't have a new coupling, supposed to get one from the shop. They go to the shop, one's not there. They go to another shop, it's not there. They go to a third shop, it's not there. They get it expedited from the local vendor, comes in. Okay. Oh, then it comes in, and they can't find the key that goes into the the coupling. So they have to get a new one made. Somebody accidentally kicked it off into a pit. Real example. So they get a new one made. It's a little too long. Then they get it cut to the right distance, put it in. Another 90 minutes is lost due to this whole drama and really what we'll call poor planning, which results in waiting. Okay, so that 3 hours may not sound like a lot, but when you look at a shift of 8 hours, a perfect shift has about 20-30 minutes at the start of the shift for instruction. Then it's got a 20-minute break, 30-minute lunch, 20-minute break, 20-minute cleanup tools at the end. That's 2 hours of designed in non-wrench time. So at an 8-hour shift, it brings you down to 6 hours. You just lost 3 hours of that 6. You had a 50% reduction in wrench time, all because you didn't fully plan, kit that job. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. So how do you fix this? The solution I've seen that has a major impact and a very quick impact in less than 30 days is to create a kitter stager position. Okay, a kitter stager position. This person, hopefully a senior person, an experienced person, they build a kit with every part on it. That pump example, not only do they have the pump in a basket or on a skid, but they have the coupling, the keyway, they have any shims that they may need, any gasket material they need, any replacement bolts that they may need, anything that can possibly be needed or permit people to go back to the shop to get, you need to have on that skid. Some folks even have like the laser alignment tool. They may have a lockbox on there and it's locked up, so it's protected. And you got the laser alignment tool on there. So everything is on there. So let's talk about why that's a big deal. Let's do some simple math here, okay? Hopefully this will be easy for you. So say we have 20 craftspeople. And they all work 8 hours at 15% wrench time. And these are real examples that I've dealt with, okay? That equals 24 effective hours during that shift of work. Okay, now if you create this kidder stager position, you got 19 effective crafts times 8 hours times 25%. I've seen this lone position impact that craft group by this much, 10 percentage points. Wow, is that a big deal? That takes you from 24 to 38 effective hours. 38 effective hours. That's a 58% improvement in efficiency. 58%, folks. That has the same effect as adding 12 people. So you folks that are looking for people out there, you don't have enough people to fund your PDM group. You don't have enough people to serve as planners. You can't free up a kidder stager. Man, this has the effect of adding 12 people. I've seen this kidder stager add 10 percentage points, especially when you're down around 15% wrench time. Adding that gets you to 25, major impact, within a month. Within a month, you can start to see these results. Another one, and this is much simpler, is galvanized bucket. A galvanized bucket. I learned this, not my idea. I learned this from a guy named Mark who did it in his casting plant. They added a galvanized bucket to every plan kitted job. So why? It was empty. And so I go up to Mark. I said, I don't understand. What's this galvanized bucket for? Well, remember the key that got kicked off? Have a place for the craftsmen to put their small parts. So when they take a key out, when they take some gasket material out or some small bolts, they throw them all in this galvanized bucket and then they don't get misplaced. I'm telling you, I've seen this alone add 2 hours of efficiency to a job. 2 hours. Is it happening in your plant? Perhaps. Okay, so those are your homework assignments are going to come from that. What are the simple actions you can take next week? 1, add a galvanized bucket to the next 10 jobs. Buy 10 galvanized buckets, give them to the planner and say, put these on the job. Have a short toolbox talk with your craft people. Say, this is what this is for small parts. Put a galvanized bucket on there. What could be simpler than that? Big impact. The second thing, I'd like for you personally to go sample a couple jobs. Go out in the maintenance shop, look at a couple jobs, wherever they kit these things, and decide for yourself if they're fully kitting that. Is there just a pump on the skid? Is there just a gearbox? Is there just a set of cables? Do they have any reason to go back to the shop? All those transportations back and forth to the shop add significant waste, as much as 50% to the job. That's your homework assignment. So I talked a lot about kitting. Many plants are doing that, but very, very few are doing full kitting. Now I'm calling this, you may have noticed, I'm calling this position a kidder stager. Now staging is actually putting all the equipment necessary and all the parts necessary out at the job site. Let's say within 10 feet of the job site, doing that before work begins. So imagine this kidder stager position. You skew their shift from 5 into 1, normal shift being 7 to 3. They come in at 5. Now you can do this on midnight shift, you can do this the day before, but they take all the parts and pieces that are needed for that job, the full kit, and put it out there at the job site. Protect it some way, maybe I throw a tarp on it, whatever. Maybe there's a designated box, square, painted on the ground that production says you could stage parts there. Puts a welder, puts the aerial lift, puts a scissor lift out there, puts a mobile crane, parks it out there at the job and stages it. So then the morning chaos doesn't happen. Shift starts at 7 a.m., they get their toolbox talk, they go out to the job site, everything's there. Every part, every piece of equipment. Big deal, guys. Kidder stager. Last thing, if what you're seeing here is helpful and you would like to see more, and I'm helping you bridge that gap between best practices and reality of what you face with simple solutions, please hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you'll be alerted to new videos as they come out. Thank you very much.